Pink is the color for girls, Kira says. So she and Ava cut their palms and let their blood drip into a shallow bowl filled with milk. Watching the color spread slowly on the surface, small red flowers blooming. Ava studies Kira, how she holds her hand steady, as if she's used to slicing herself open, while sunlight falls through the kitchen window and fills her curls with glow. Her mouth is a slim, straight line, but her eyes are wide, green-yellow, unblinking. Strange eyes, Ava's mother always says, with the same pinched grimace usually reserved for pulling plugs of their hair from the bathtub drain. The girls are at Kira's because her parents believe in freedom of expression, and they can climb trees and catch frogs and lie on the living room floor with the cushions pulled off the couch, watching cartoons and eating sugary cereal from metal mixing bowls for hours. At Ava's house, they are tomboys. They are lazy. They are getting on her mother's last nerve. Her mother doesn't approve of Kira, but they've been friends for 2 months, ever since late August, when the 8th grade started, and Kira came up to her during gym and told her, "I feel like I'm drowning." And though there was no water in sight, Ava knew what she meant. It was the type of feeling she herself sometimes got, a heaviness, an airlessness that was hard to talk about, especially with her mother. Trying to name it was like pulling up words from her belly, bucketful after bucketful. All that effort, but they never meant what she wanted them to. This is one of the many differences between her and Kira, that the truth about the two of them changed depending on which mother was telling it. And Ava often wonders if their differences are only because Kira is white, or if there's something more, something beneath the skin. This year she's become obsessed with dualities, at looking at one thing in 2 ways. Kira's eyes, strange and magic. Her own, sadness, both imaginary and pulsating. "Get a spoon," Kira says, and from the drawer Ava grabs a large one with slots. She stirs the milk and blood until it is the desired shade, the pink of Kira's lips, a soft, hopeful color. They tip the bowl up to their mouths, one after the other, sip for sip, until there are only dregs. They wipe pink froth from their faces with the back of their arms and sit still for a moment, solemn in the wake of what they've just done. "Blood sisters," Ava murmurs, feeling somehow stretched in time, another sensation she can't explain. She imagines she can feel Kira's blood absorbing into her system, passing through the mucous membrane of her small intestine, assimilating until there is no difference between her blood and her friends. "Blood sisters," Kira agrees, and leaves the bowl, spoon and knife, in the sink for her mother to wash. This is the hour of reckoning, or at least this is what they shout as they flock toward the retention pond behind Kira's house, kicking up grass and startling the neighborhood dogs into song. They drop small stones into the water, watch the tadpoles scatter, and count the ripples. "Run, little guys," Kira says, her voice small and high like an actress in a bad horror film. Ava stomps and snarls in the shallows. She's still wearing her low tops, her socks full of pond, water squishing between her toes. She is Frankenstein's monster. She is a vampire queen. She is newly 13, hollowed out and filled back up with venom and dust cloud dreams. She throws her head back and howls at the sun, pretending it's a strange, burning moon, and that there is no other world than this one where she and Kira are. Kira thunks down onto the bank, sitting with her legs pulled up and her arms draped across the tops of her knees, watching Ava. Her hands dangle from her small wrists like claws. She laughs as Ava poses for her, thrusts her hips out at impossible angles, and squinches her eyes tight. Kira pretends to snap photos with her hands, diving onto her stomach to make sure she gets the shot. "You're a sexy monster," she screams, swooping to the edge of the pond for a close-up, splashing water so that the droplets hang in the air for barely a moment, rainbow-colored. "Say it, be it. I'm a sexy monster. Ava repeats and bares her teeth. Kira yanks her arms and they fall onto the grass, a giggling heap of girl. They catch their breath and wait. For their hearts to stop thudding, for the warmth to drain from their cheeks. They wait for the howling they don't voice to quiet. It never does. Instead, it evens out, a thin purr that lives inside their rib cages and the webbing of their fingers.